Good morning, everyone. So, I have watched and rewatched and watched again the live from the Resilient Jenkins. There's a lot to unpack here. First off, if anybody is surprised at all by Drew's reaction, you shouldn't be. He has two other baby mamas and a son he doesn't even see. You should not be shocked at all by anything that he does. There's a thousand different theories on what is actually going on behind the scenes, and this is my opinion. I'm not stopping you from leaving. I wasn't stopping you 4 hours ago. Her jumping back and forth between defending him and hating him, not hating him, but not knowing if she wants to be with him. I can empathize, and I think most women can, with the actual exhaustion. You can empathize with the situation. The problem is, one, apparently they had the oldest daughter in the middle of this argument while Stephanie was packing to leave. Do not ever include your children in a personal argument with your partner. You don't have the right to change the perspective that a child has on their parent. It doesn't matter if you birthed them or impregnated somebody with them. You don't get to change that opinion. They will find out who their parent is when they get older. What happens when you try to force that perspective? You become the bad parent. Because now you are trash talking their other parents. You are probably bitter and upset because most people who aren't don't. You don't have a right to do that. So not only are you both putting these children in the middle of this argument, you're intentionally telling them what's going on and changing the viewpoints and perspective that they have of their parent. Now, both of you are shitty. I don't like either of you. I think you're both narcissists. You're both lazy. You both don't want to actually provide anything for your children. Obviously, Atlas and Minova they're clout babies. But I think she's serious. I think she is actually serious, at least for most of it. Do I think she posted this for attention, money, and clout? 100%. 100%. There's no way that anybody who wouldn't post this is not looking for that. But he is checked out. I don't think he ever checked in, but he is checked out. He's gone. He is doing whatever he wants to do when he is working that gig. And I hate that term. I don't know what your theories are. I don't know what your opinions are. So why don't you share it with me? Let me know what you think down in my comment section. Check out my husband's store link because if you like magic, then you'll probably like it. I probably will be posting more on this. And yes, those of you who keep telling me you're just looking for attention too, I don't really care. I've explained myself in several videos. I feel like my emotional responses to certain things should give that away if you're at all good with reading people. But, that's your opinion. Hi, it's me again. So I was rewatching my video because that's what I do before I post it. Hi, everyone. It's me. So I'm not taking sides with this at all because I think they're both shitty. I think they're both responsible for everything that's going on. I think Stephanie overstepped her bounds a lot in this relationship. I think that Drew never really cared. I think she was his next meal ticket, and he saw that because she's been posting for a few years. I think that Drew is he's going to become the next Nick Cannon if they split up, honestly. Like, he's just going to keep getting people pregnant. And that's gross. My problem with all of this, one of my problems with all of this, because I say that a lot, Drew and Court put all of this on Stephanie. And yes, it's not her child. Not her child. Deshaun is not your son, Stephanie. He's not. And wanting attention for being a stepmom is gross. You don't become a step-parent for clout. But that seems to be what you did. At least that's what you're putting out into the world. Deshaun is not your son. Drew put everything on Stephanie. The finances, everything. Like, he admitted she does everything, even for Deshaun. So, while I absolutely despise this woman, I can see that she's carrying the weight of a man that is not responsible for anything. That being said, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this. Stephanie, when you met this man, he was living in a one-bedroom apartment with his son. You willingly moved into his apartment, with two little girls while he already had a kid in a one-bed apartment. I don't really have a whole lot of empathy for people who willingly put themselves in positions. Like, there's a few that I can kind of, I guess, see. But I cannot see in any world that Stephanie wasn't aware of what she was doing through this whole relationship with him, through everything. Like, she came from a pretty harsh relationship before this. How she trusted a man after her husband, I don't know. Sounds like someone has some stuff she's needing to work out, actually. But I do not have any sympathy for her. I have empathy only for the point that, from a mom's perspective, yes, having children is exhausting. And while no, I am not a single parent, my husband was working really long hours for a very long time. And it was difficult for a while because I didn't understand what was going on with me, which I'm not going to talk about. Just postpartum sucked. And I was dealing with a lot. He was dealing with a lot. We were on opposite ends of the spectrum because I was at home with the kids and he was at work with a bunch of overgrown children. So it's hard to be at home all the time with kids. You made that choice. You made that decision. You made that choice, dude. Like, even if it was just during the times that he was at work, you would still be home with the kids more often than at work, even if you worked full time. Like, not to mention, even, yes, with the newborn, I get it. Atlas should be in daycare learning social skills because you do not have any. He doesn't know how to speak. He doesn't know how to ask for things. But you are so obsessed with your man and what he is doing that you're not focusing on your kids. And yes, life is distracting. And sometimes people get manic and they do crazy shit. But you've been on this train for the better part of 3 years. 4 years, almost. We're 6 months into 2025, and I know everything about your life. You've been on this train. You've been going through this. So putting it all on Drew, like he should have been taking care of everything, you already knew that he wasn't going to. I don't feel sympathy for you, Stephanie. What I do, actually, surprisingly, I realized last night, what I do feel is I have hope that maybe you're actually realizing that this is a garbage man that you have decided to procreate with and that you need to get away from him. But that includes getting a job to provide for now 4 kids because you know he's not going to take any of them. I have ranted long enough. This video is going to be a long one, so we'll see how it goes. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take a deep breath. Let's get some fresh air this weekend, and I hope we can be friends.